Welcome to the Legalpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Sager, founder and CEO of Legalpreneur, Inc. As a serial entrepreneur and someone that works exclusively with small business owners legally protecting their business, I'm dedicated to covering common legal issues faced by business owners, providing you with the business knowledge you need to catapult your business's growth and showing you just how some of the world's most elite entrepreneurs have handled these legal and business issues themselves. In true attorney fashion, the information in this episode is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult with your attorney before implementing any of the information in the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Legalpreneur podcast. You guys, we have Brooke Markevicius from Allobee here today. She is a rock star entrepreneur. She is the CEO and founder of Allobee, which is a marketplace for freelancers and entrepreneurs to find the freelancers that they need for their business. So I'm super pumped because I know a lot of you are just going to resonate with her story, and then you're also going to love the Allobee platform. So take it away, Brooke. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell everybody how you got to where you are today.
Yes. It's always great to be on the other side. I also have a podcast, so it's nice to be the one being interviewed today. I recorded an episode with somebody else this morning, but a little bit about my story. I actually started nowhere near being an entrepreneur. I went to undergrad for education and then stumbled into the nonprofit world. I graduated in 2008 during the recession, and there weren't even really teacher jobs. And so nonprofits are always hiring. So I went into the nonprofit space and quickly worked myself up the ladder there into managing domestic violence and homeless shelter for women when I was living in the Midwest, and absolutely loved it. Learned a lot about entrepreneurship that I didn't even realize I would take further on with me. But when you're operating off of grant money and donations, you have to get real thrifty and figure out how to manage everything in different ways. And follow those grants and specific guidelines and all of that. But I got burnt out pretty fast. I'm definitely an overachiever. And so I went all in every single day. And I knew that if I wanted to have a family, I probably needed to have a different shift in my career. So I had just at that time met who would become my husband. And he was in tech, and I was like, oh, okay, this is an interesting path, and not everybody has to be a developer. And I saw a lot of options for the tech for good that was happening at that time. And so I went back, got my master's in computer information systems at Boston University, and kind of dove into this new world. It wasn't easy at first, but I found that I kind of was always techie in my own right. And so I was always helping people with their tech issues. I was the grandkid that got called to help fix grandma's computer kind of thing. And so after grad school, I got hired at Postmates when they were at about Series B and helped launch their Southeast region. Loved working in this new gig economy and providing jobs and side hustles for people. I didn't exactly like how we always treated our workers. And so that was something that would kind of carry on to me founding Allobee. Then I got pregnant with my daughter and found that working 80-hour weeks for somebody else was not something I wanted to do at that stage of my life, and decided to quit, which was pretty bold after going back and getting a master's and starting a new career. But I knew that something needed to change. And so I started freelancing, and I freelanced in web development and project management for about 4 to 5 years. And I worked predominantly with small business owners and female founders that were getting their businesses out into the world. And that's where I really started to discover my love for entrepreneurship. And I knew kind of at that point I wanted to start my own company eventually. But there was one of my clients actually asked me if I would help her co-found a co-working space. And I was living out. Yeah. So I was living out on the West Coast at the time. And I was like, why not? I was also 6 months pregnant with my son, which why not? Why not? Why not? We literally opened the doors in less than 6 months to a co-working space. It was definitely meant to be because everything kind of came together really quickly.
Yeah.
We found a space that was great. And we opened the doors literally the week as I was going into labor. So luckily, this co-working space was built for moms. And so it was basically the best thing that could have happened to me postpartum, having all of the support of that community. And that's where I really solidified the idea of what would eventually become Allobee. I saw these women were buying and selling each other's goods and services, referring each other, really created their own little microeconomy. And so I decided that I didn't want it to just be in Tacoma, Washington. I wanted it to be bigger than that. And actually, at the time, the majority of our membership were virtual memberships. And so I decided that it was time to kind of take it further. And that's when I started building what would become Allobee. So that's kind of how we got to today in some ways.
That is incredible. You have quite the journey. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, and where are you located now?
So now I'm in Durham, North Carolina. We moved back right before the pandemic. So May of 2019 to Durham. I grew up here closer to family. And I knew that if I wanted to make this business a reality, I needed to have some extra support of family and friends. So we moved back.
Amazing. And your husband, does he work with you, or does he still have his own job?
Yeah, he is my number one cheerleader, but I don't think we could ever work together. We pretty much set that boundary for ourselves. He helped me get like the early MVP of Allobee out there. He's actually he helped name the company, all of that. But no, he actually works for Twitter as an engineering manager. So we're very thankful that he has a very stable job that pays well while I am building a company. But and I have 2 kids, Lily and Lucas. They're 4 and 7.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, tell everybody exactly what is Allobee? How can they, like, what is Allobee if they're listening and they are a freelancer, can provide freelance services or need it? Like what's going on here?
Yeah, so we are a one-stop business solution for the small business owner and entrepreneur. So our main clients are overwhelmed entrepreneurs. They're time poor. They have a lot of cognitive overwhelm. And they really want someone that they can trust to help support their business, but in a flexible way. So they're usually not at the stage where they want to bring on a ton of retainer or full-time employees. And they're really wanting something that's very flexible. So that's our client. And then our expert are predominantly women that have left the traditional 9-to-5 that are freelancing. They might have their own freelancing business already up and running, or they might not. But they have the skill sets to help support anything from virtual assistant, marketing assistant, web design, branding, all the way up to app design, bookkeeping, all of that. And so those are all the services that we offer. We offer a big suite of services because we added them as our clients asked for them. And we really wanted to be the place where businesses could build their business with us and alongside us. So we take a lot of pride in helping our clients scale simply and sustainably as they grow. I think small business owners and entrepreneurs that are in the early stages have a lot different unique needs and support than enterprise and bigger companies do. But so few organizations, companies, tech is built for the small business owner. And so that's what we've really focused on, is really nailing the support that's needed there. And so we've built our whole company around that. So we are technically a managed marketplace. So you can come to us and you can either directly buy a service off of our platform. They're all flat rate pricing, which is really nice. So you don't have to bargain or bid or look at proposals. Just come and choose a service you need, or we'll help you choose the service. And then we'll connect you through our matching algorithm with the best match for you out of our workforce. So we look at industry, skill set, the availability that that expert has, everything to make the best match. And we have a 96% hit rate for our matches. So we'll definitely hook you up and help you grow your business. Or if you are a freelancer and want to get extra jobs, we do all the marketing. We bring the jobs to you.
Nice. And so what are the most popular services on the platform?
Yeah. So the marketing assistant is one of our top services. So we found that a lot of people would hire a virtual assistant and hope that they could do everything. Well, no one can do everything, or they're just not going to be good at it. And so we've really segmented out our virtual assistants to be admin focused, technical, system setup focused, and then marketing. So marketing and tech assistants are our number ones that always get booked. It's great if you have a strategy in place and you just need continuous content kind of set up for you, maybe some help with email management, but you're not at the full ability to hire a full social media manager and an email marketer and all of these things. So it's really kind of fills in the holes for those business owners during that time. And then other one is bookkeepers. We have a lot of people that need bookkeeping. We have a lot of options for bookkeeping. So we're not just the traditional, like you have to pay for a month. We have where you can email a bookkeeper, where you can have like an hour consult, all of that. And then probably the third one would be web design. We do have a lot of amazing web designers and copywriters that can help support the copy on the website.
That's awesome. Yeah, you really can go and get everything. That's awesome.
Really, you can, which is very crazy some days, but it's also really great because our business owners know that they can get whatever they need with us and that they don't have to keep trying out different places and looking for other people. We can just accommodate them as they're starting to scale.
Yeah. So I want to touch really quickly on the funding because you raised a pre-seed round and now you're raising a seed round, which is what we're doing as well. But on the pre-seed, I would love to hear more about that because I know, I mean, I'm very new to the funding game altogether. And I've just heard how hard getting I know how hard getting a seed round completed is, but pre-seed, I've heard is even harder because it's pre-product, it's pre-revenue, it's it's just at the idea stage. So what do you think, what is, first, if you can explain to everybody in your own words, the pre-seed round and why you think you were successful in getting that funding, because getting pre-seed funding is incredibly challenging.
It definitely is. I will say that when I first started into this entrepreneur tech startup journey, I was very naive and had no idea how hard it was going to be. I'm actually running a workshop this afternoon for an organization about how to raise your pre-seed round, so it's very much on my mind. I would say that the biggest goal, I had I don't come from money. None of my family has money. I was not going to get a friends and family round if I had to rely on my network. And so I knew that. And I knew that I needed to find somebody to come and join our team or fractionally join our team that was better at the analytics, financial side, as well as had better connections than me. And I had no idea what that was going to look like, but I just totally put that out into the universe as something that we really needed to do. We did do a crowdfunding campaign at first, which we raised about $11,000 and all from our community, which was absolutely amazing. But $11,000 does not get you very far. No. So I just put out into the universe that we needed someone. And honestly, I reconnected with a speaker at a female founders event here in North Carolina at a happy hour randomly. And she loved what we were doing and where we were. And we continued to have coffee for about 3 weeks after that. And she joined on, and she has an MBA from Dartmouth, and she has a lot of great connections. And she really was the driving force for us to be able to get that pre-seed round done. My financial model looked hilarious, I'm sure, to everybody until she came on. And so that was really helpful to be able to take my vision that you're sharing in a pre-seed round, which the story is the biggest thing. They have to be behind the founder. They have to be behind the vision and mission of whatever you're doing. So I was nailing that side pretty well, but then I needed that other side to go, okay, which is a great idea, but like, is it going to financially go anywhere? Is there like a proof of like ability to scale? And so she helped to paint that side of it. And so that was really helpful. She also, which we can talk about more, helped me make sure we were getting on a better legal path and getting all of our ducks in a row. And so that was what happened for us. I think that if you're not able to like find somebody to bring on that can fit your company, is finding mentors or even paying for like, not a ton of money, but paying for like a consultant to help you out with that. I think it's essential. It's the way that you look more professional. It allows you to really be able to share that with people that are coming to you to pitch to. We were lucky that a lot of our funding came from her contacts, but she had also spent a lot of time building her network. And so that was really great. And then we did get one micro VC. So there's all kinds of things in the VC world. But micro VCs and angels are usually what you raise from for a pre-seed. And so we did find one micro VC that literally was from a relatively cold email that I sent, and they ended up investing $100K into us to close out our round. It was a 6-month process and tons of fun. And that's the hard thing about funding. When you start, you can't stop. It's going to keep on going. And so, we raised $500K, closed with it. It was about 5-month process, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was a little over a year ago.
That's awesome. So how long did it take you guys to build the platform, like your MVP?
Yeah. So we had a hack together MVP in the early days. And that was before we went live to the public, what we were kind of doing our beta on. I really believe that you shouldn't build a product until you have customers that you can learn from to build it like really user-centric and focused. So we focused on building up our freelance network of freelancers, as well as enough demand to fit that supply, which was tricky in the early days. And then we built the product. And we didn't build the product until we brought on a full-time engineer. And so we built the product last summer. We launched it last fall. And it was very focused on our specific clients' needs and small business owners' needs. And that's why I think it's been really successful, because we were able to do that.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. You guys, we met through Twitter, right? I think we met through Twitter.
Yeah,
yes,
so.
We met through Twitter, and we just connected really well. And I was like, yes, I cannot wait to really build out our relationship, because we have so many synergies between what we offer. But okay, so let's touch briefly on the legal stuff. So you said the woman that really helped you guys, she helped you get some legal ducks in a row. Can you explain, like, where were you like prior to her when it comes to the legal stuff? And then like, what did she really help you get in line?
So I would say a lot of people say that they have background in helping startups with legal stuff. No, not everybody does, nor do they really have a great track record. And even if they're like, have worked at a startup in corporate law, that does not mean that they're like necessarily going to be your great option. So I quickly found out that going the cheap route was not the best route. Kind of long story short, we decided to make sure that we were finding a legal firm that was very good in tech, would have a good reputation, would look good for our investors, because that's another thing when you're raising any round. They're going to want to know who your lawyer is and that you have somebody that you can go to. And so we ended up working with a legal firm out of Seattle that one of my friends that's a founder had suggested. They were very expensive, but they let us not pay our first bill until we raised the round. And that was really helpful. And I'm very appreciative to that. It was a very big amount of money that we paid after that, but we built that into our raise. And so
Perfect.
That was really helpful. They're great. They know we are scrappy and don't have a ton of money. And so they're really mindful of that. And we'll do like a 10-minute call with us and like, hack together some stuff. But it's allowed us to be more professional and on top of things as we've gone into the last raise and this raise. We already had our term sheet together. We had everything ready. They're able to send out their documentation to the investors. And it really helps you to kind of stand out, especially as a female founder. It really helps you along the way. So I'm appreciative to our legal team. Sometimes they tell me things that I get frustrated with, but they're there to support and to help. And I'm really glad we have our ducks in a row as a company with contracts and all of that. Has been really helpful.
Yeah. So, and you said your husband helped you create the name. Is there any meaning behind it? As a trademark attorney, I'm a huge fan of names. So always want to hear about names.
No, I love sharing our name. So the name Allobee is totally made up, and I'm glad it was because we got the domain for $8.88 for a .com with a short name. Which was fabulous.
It's hard to come by these days.
It is hard to come by. I probably own everything Allobee, just FYI, on all domains. That's just I just grabbed them all up. But the first part of the word allo comes from the concept of allo mothering or allo parenting, which is what elephants do when an elephant mama has a baby. The whole herd of elephants takes care of that baby as the mom recovers, which is really awesome. And then also elephants never forget. So no matter if you leave the herd or go away, the elephant always knows that you are a part of that original herd. And so we really feel at Allobee that like no matter where you are in your business, come and go as you need, but we're here to support you and never forget you. And then the other side is bee. Obviously, I've always loved bees. I think they're really underestimated, but so essential to everything in the world. Just like women are very underestimated and essential to everything in the world. And so I believe that our individual worker bees help to support building the hives of our business owners. So that's where our name came from.
Oh my gosh, that is the best story I've ever heard for a name. I'm
really big on names too. Like it's like essential for me. And I really could not move forward with a lot of things in this company until we had the name. So it was important for me.
And I assume you guys have a trademark on it.
Yes, we have a trademark on our name. We also need, I think I mentioned this to you too, we also need to get a trademark on something else that we've been working on. But yeah, we have a trademark. We also have a patent filed on our algorithm right now that we just filed back in January.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I don't do patents. I always tell people like that's a whole nother ball game. You don't even want to ask me the first thing about patents.
Yeah. It is. I did find a really great lawyer that was very affordable for, so we didn't, actually our lawyer was like, you can't afford us for this patent. Just go ahead and go somewhere else. But he suggested us to somebody and he was great. And it was a really easy process for us. They walked us through everything. So yeah, but definitely protect your stuff. I've heard so many bad stories about it and I'm lucky that we haven't had to encounter that. But we've been really proactive about the legal side from kind of day one.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So if somebody wants to become a freelancer or if they want to get services, do they just go to allobee.com? Tell the audience where they can find out about getting involved.
Yeah. So if you want to join our workforce, you can just go to allobee.com and almost at the top, it just says join us. So just go ahead and click there. It'll take you to our jobs page that has all of the positions that we're hiring for right now. We have been really big from the beginning to not hire thousands and thousands of experts and then just have them sitting there with no job. So we've always tried to have the demand and supply be relatively equal. And so we only hire as we need, but it's almost like a traditional hiring process. We hire as if we were going to hire you full time because oftentimes we end up using our experts too for lots of positions. So it's great. We always have a workforce that's right there, but we fully vet, we go through portfolio checks, reference checks, background checks. to make sure that we're having the best quality for our clients. And then so it's pretty seamless though. You just go there, apply, and we'll be in touch with you. And then on the other side for our clients, you can also just go to allobee.com and you can click on hire us and you can go through and fill out a form. And we'll be in touch to schedule a call with you. Or you can go ahead and just purchase straight on our site if you already know what you need. So it's all laid out there on the site for you.
Amazing. That's awesome. That's incredible. Okay, so before we end this, I always like to ask the same question. What is your number one business tip? Doesn't have to be anything related to legal or your specific, like what is your number one business tip?
Don't get too far ahead of yourself. So I only look at the next day in my calendar, because it can get so overwhelming as a business owner to think weeks ahead, months ahead. Now, I do plenty of quarterly planning, do all the planning, but on a day-to-day basis, I know, well, and that makes me know that I'm like ready for it, but I just look at the next day. So last night I looked at today and I was like, whoo, today is like a little bit crazy. But I also know that Fridays I don't have many meetings. So that's another thing. But yeah, don't look too far ahead. Stay present in the day. And it'll help you significantly, I think, as a business owner.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, tell everybody, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find our company. We are at Hire Allobee on everything. So you can find us there. You can find me on LinkedIn. I do a lot on LinkedIn. I have a newsletter there. You're welcome to check out. We have a podcast you can find right on our website. And then my social media is at Brooke Markevicius. So just at my name, and you can find me on all platforms.
Perfect. And we'll have everything in the show notes. So don't worry about writing it down, because we will spell out and link Brooke Markevicius.
The hard one.
Yes. Amazing. Well, Brooke, thank you so much for this. I know that everybody is like, I'm in for Allobee, because all the time it's like, well, I don't necessarily need this like full person, but I need like a fractional of this or that. So Allobee is absolutely perfect for that. So go check it out, everybody. Hire Allobee and get everything in your business taken care of.
Yes, thank you. Well, it's been great to chat with you, and always here to support.
Amazing. Thank you. Here at Legalpreneur, we're committed to providing a supportive legal community for all business owners. I know how scary the legal stuff can be. If you found this information helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with a fellow business owner. And quite frankly, it doesn't cost anything to rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Your support helps me reach more listeners, which allows me to support more business owners in their entrepreneurial journey. Have any questions or comments about the show? Feel free to drop me a line on Instagram. I promise I read all of the messages and comments. And if you want to be a guest on the show or know someone that would make a great guest, simply fill out our application form and a team member will reach out if we think it's a good fit. I'll see you in the next episode.